Hello, my dear friends. Today, I want to share a story that will not only touch your heart, but also help you understand the importance of introducing yourself confidently in English. The topic of today's story is how to introduce yourself. Imagine you are in a new place, surrounded by people you don't know. The first thing you need to do is introduce yourself, right? But what if English is not your first language? What if your mind goes blank the moment you try to speak? That's exactly what happened to Emma Carter, a young woman from Texas, United States, who was struggling to introduce herself properly in English. Emma had always been shy. Growing up in a small town, she rarely had to speak to new people. Her family mostly spoke Spanish at home, so even though she understood English, speaking it was a different challenge. When she moved to New York for college, she realized how important it was to introduce herself clearly and confidently. Let me take you on Emma's journey of learning how to introduce herself, step by step. I'll also break down the important techniques she used, so you can learn from her experience and improve your own introductions. The struggle of speaking English. Emma arrived in New York City feeling both excited and nervous. It was her first time living away from home, and she knew that meeting new people was going to be a big part of her life. She wanted to make friends, participate in class discussions, and feel confident when speaking English. But every time she had to introduce herself, she froze. Her first embarrassing moment happened on her first day at college. The professor asked everyone to introduce themselves. "Let's go around the room. Please tell us your name, where you're from, and something interesting about yourself," the professor said with a warm smile. Emma's heart started beating fast. She listened to her classmates introduce themselves one by one. "Hi, I'm Jake. I'm from California, and I love playing basketball. My name is Sarah. I'm from Florida, and I speak 3 languages. I'm David from Chicago. I enjoy photography." Emma was next. She could feel everyone's eyes on her. She opened her mouth, but the words wouldn't come out. She whispered nervously, I'm Emma, I, Texas. The professor smiled kindly. "Can you tell us a little more?" Emma panicked. She couldn't think of anything interesting to say. Her hands were shaking, and she felt embarrassed. After class, she felt frustrated with herself. "Why can't I just say a few simple sentences?" she thought. Understanding the basics of self-introduction that evening, Emma decided to work on her self-introduction. She realized that she needed to prepare in advance so she wouldn't feel nervous next time. She looked up examples of introductions online and took notes. She learned that a good self-introduction includes your name. "Hi, my name is Emma Carter." Where you're from. "I'm from Texas, United States." Something interesting about you. "I love painting and traveling." She practiced saying these sentences out loud in front of the mirror. She noticed that the more she practiced, the more comfortable she felt. The next day, she decided to test her skills by introducing herself to her roommate, Olivia. "Hey, I don't think we introduced ourselves properly. I'm Emma Carter from Texas. Nice to meet you." Olivia smiled. "Nice to meet you too, Emma. I'm Olivia from New York. What do you like to do for fun?" Emma hesitated for a second, but then she remembered her practice. "I love painting and traveling." "That's awesome. I love traveling too," Olivia replied. For the first time, Emma felt confident speaking English. She realized that introducing herself wasn't as scary as she thought. Overcoming fear in social situations. Even though Emma practiced her introduction, she still felt nervous when meeting new people. So, she decided to put herself in more situations where she had to introduce herself. She joined an English-speaking club at college. The club was designed for international students who wanted to improve their English. The first day, the club leader asked everyone to introduce themselves. Emma took a deep breath and said, "Hi, my name is Emma Carter. I'm from Texas and I love painting and traveling." This time, she said it with confidence. The other students smiled and introduced themselves too. One of the students, James from Canada, said, "That's cool. What kind of paintings do you do?" Emma was surprised. People were interested in what she had to say. She had always been so afraid of speaking that she never realized how much people enjoyed conversations. From that day on, Emma started practicing her introductions in different ways. At the coffee shop, she introduced herself to the barista. In class, she introduced herself to classmates. At social events, she made an effort to introduce herself to at least 3 new people. The more she practiced, the more natural it became. A job interview, one of Emma's biggest challenges, came when she applied for a part-time job at a local bookstore. She knew that the first question in the interview would be, "Tell me about yourself." She prepared by structuring her introduction in a professional way. Greeting and name. "Hello, my name is Emma Carter." Background. "I'm originally from Texas, and I'm currently a student at New York University studying art and design." Skills and interests. "I have a strong passion for books and customer service, and I love working in creative environments." Why she's applying. "I'm really excited about this opportunity because I enjoy helping people and I love bookstores." During the interview, she delivered her introduction confidently. The manager smiled and said, "That's a great introduction, Emma. You seem very passionate. We'd love to have you on our team." Emma got the job. She couldn't believe how far she had come. Emma's newfound confidence began to transform every aspect of her life. As days turned into weeks, she found that each opportunity to introduce herself became a stepping stone toward a richer, more fulfilling experience in her new city. With every encounter, she learned a little more about how to express her unique identity and share her passions with the world. In the bustling corridors of New York University, Emma's days were filled with encounters that challenged her to step outside her comfort zone. After acing her first few introductions in class and casual social gatherings, she decided to explore more formal settings where effective self-introduction could open doors to exciting opportunities. One brisk autumn morning, Emma received an invitation to a networking event organized by a local art collective. The event promised to bring together creative minds from all over the United States, and she knew it was a chance to put her practice to the test. Determined to make a strong impression, Emma spent hours refining her introduction. She rehearsed in front of a mirror, carefully choosing each word to convey not only her background as a student from Texas, but also her passion for art and design. She realized that introducing herself effectively wasn't just about listing her credentials. It was about sharing a story, her story, with authenticity and warmth. On the day of the event, as she walked into a spacious loft converted into a gallery, the hum of conversation and the sight of vibrant artwork filled her with both excitement and a touch of nervousness. At the entrance, Emma took a deep breath and greeted the host with a smile. "Hi, my name is Emma Carter. I'm originally from Texas, and I'm currently studying art and design at New York University. I have a deep passion for painting and exploring new cultures through my art." Her voice, though initially a bit soft, grew stronger as she continued speaking. Within moments, a small group of people gathered around, intrigued by her warm demeanor and sincere introduction. One of them, a well-known local artist named Marcus Reynolds, responded with genuine interest. "That's a wonderful introduction, Emma. I love hearing about different cultural influences in art. What inspires your paintings?" Emma found herself engaging in an animated conversation about her favorite subjects: the interplay of light and shadow, the vibrant colors of cityscapes, and the subtle nuances of human expressions. As the discussion deepened, she realized that her introduction had served as a bridge connecting her to fellow creatives. The Art Collective event was not just about exchanging business cards, it was about forging genuine relationships built on shared passions. Encouraged by this success, Emma began to view every introduction as a chance to connect, not only to share her interests, but also to learn from others. Soon, her world expanded beyond the familiar campus grounds. She started attending community workshops, local cultural festivals, and even volunteer events where she could meet people from all walks of life. At a multicultural festival held in downtown Manhattan, Emma's introduction took on a slightly different form. Surrounded by an array of colors, sounds, and flavors representing communities from across the United States, she introduced herself with pride. "Hello, I'm Emma Carter from Texas. I'm a student and an aspiring artist who loves exploring the rich cultural diversity of our great country. I'm here to celebrate art and the stories it tells." At the festival, she encountered individuals like Maria Lopez, a chef who specialized in blending traditional Tex-Mex flavors with modern culinary techniques, and Jonathan Brooks, a historian passionate about preserving the stories of early American settlers. Each new conversation was a learning experience, an opportunity to understand the mosaic of cultures that make up the United States. Emma realized that effective self-introduction was not just about talking about oneself. It was equally about listening and engaging with the stories of others. There were moments, however, when the journey was not without its challenges. Despite her progress, there were instances when Emma still felt the weight of self-doubt. At a regional conference on art and innovation, Emma was once again called upon to introduce herself. The grand setting, filled with professionals and experts, momentarily overwhelmed her. For a split second, the fear of stumbling over her words threatened to take over. But then, she remembered all the small victories and the supportive smiles of people like Olivia, Marcus, and even the kind professor who had encouraged her on that fateful first day of class. With that memory in mind, Emma steadied herself and began, "Good morning. My name is Emma Carter. I'm from Texas, and I am currently a student at New York University where I study art and design. I'm passionate about exploring the connection between art and personal identity, and I believe every introduction tells a story." Her words resonated in the grand hall, and the applause that followed was not just for her eloquence, it was a recognition of her courage. After the session, several attendees approached her, complimenting her authenticity and expressing interest in her work. One of them, a curator from a prestigious art gallery, mentioned that Emma's introduction had encapsulated the very essence of what art should be, a sincere expression of self and culture. Over time, Emma's journey of self-introduction evolved into a broader personal mission. She began mentoring fellow international students who faced similar challenges. In small group sessions held at the university's Language Center, she shared tips and exercises that had helped her overcome her fears. Emma emphasized the importance of preparation, practice, and most importantly, authenticity. "It's not about having a perfect script," she would say. "It's about being true to who you are and letting that shine through, even if your words aren't perfect." One afternoon, while sitting in a quiet corner of the campus library, Emma reflected on her journey. She recalled the timid whispers of her very first introduction and compared them with the confident tone of her recent presentations. Every encounter had taught her that the art of introducing oneself was an evolving skill, one that required both vulnerability and strength. She thought about the diverse faces she had met, the seasoned professionals, the curious students, and the passionate community members, all united by the simple act of sharing their stories. Emma also began to explore creative ways to introduce herself beyond spoken words. Inspired by her art studies, she started designing personalized introduction cards. Each card featured a small self-portrait, a few words about her origins in Texas, and a glimpse into her artistic journey. These cards became conversation starters at exhibitions and community meetups, sparking discussions that went far deeper than a typical exchange of names. They reminded her that introductions could be as multifaceted as the person behind them. During one particularly memorable community art project, Emma collaborated with local artists to create a mural that celebrated the diversity of American culture. Standing before the vibrant mural, she introduced herself to a group of visitors. "I'm Emma Carter, a proud Texan and a passionate artist. This mural is a tribute to the stories that make us who we are. I believe that every person you meet carries a unique narrative, and every introduction is an invitation to share that narrative." The mural, with its sweeping colors and dynamic imagery, became a symbol of unity and connection, a visual reminder that every self-introduction holds the power to bring people together. As Emma's reputation grew, so did her influence. She was invited to speak at university panels, community events, and even small local radio shows. In every setting, her approach remained the same: a genuine, engaging introduction that invited dialogue. At one of these events, a young woman named Rebecca approached her after the talk. "Emma," Rebecca said softly, "your story gave me the courage to speak up in my own way. I've always been afraid to introduce myself because I felt my English wasn't good enough, but hearing you talk about your journey made me realize that it's okay to be imperfect, as long as I'm true to myself." This moment was transformative for Emma. It underscored a universal truth that she had come to understand deeply. Introductions are not merely a formality. They are the first chapters of countless life stories. Each introduction has the potential to break down barriers, to foster empathy, and to build bridges between different worlds. In the vibrant tapestry of the United States, a land rich with diverse voices and cultures, the simple act of introducing oneself is a celebration of that diversity. In the years that followed, Emma Carter's journey continued to evolve. She became a beacon of inspiration for many who struggled with self-expression and language barriers. Her story was shared in university newsletters, local newspapers, and even in workshops dedicated to improving English communication skills for non-native speakers. Emma's approach was always centered around the belief that every introduction is an opportunity, a moment to connect, to inspire, and to grow. One particularly moving instance occurred during a community outreach program in a predominantly immigrant neighborhood in New York City. Emma was invited to help organize a cultural exchange evening where residents were encouraged to share their personal stories. Standing in front of an audience that spanned multiple generations and backgrounds, she began, "My name is Emma Carter, and I'm a proud Texan studying in New York. I came here with my heart full of dreams and a little fear of speaking a new language. But every introduction, every conversation, has taught me that our differences make us stronger. I'm here to learn from you as much as I hope you learn from me." Her words brought tears to many eyes and sparked a heartfelt dialogue among the attendees. The event was a resounding success, reinforcing the idea that introductions are the spark that can ignite meaningful change in a community. Emma's journey was not without setbacks, however. There were days when self-doubt crept in, when the fear of making mistakes in front of others threatened to undo her progress. In those moments, she would remind herself of the power of perseverance. She remembered how she had once stumbled over her words on the first day of college and how far she had come since then. Each small failure was a lesson, and each lesson was a building block toward her ever-growing confidence. She began to write in a journal, documenting every experience, both the successes and the stumbles, in hopes of not only tracking her progress, but also helping others navigate similar challenges. One entry read, "Today, I learned that an introduction isn't a rehearsed monologue. It's a conversation waiting to happen. I may not always choose the perfect words, but I choose to be authentic, and that is enough." This simple reflection encapsulated the essence of her journey and served as a reminder that genuine connection often outweighs perfect grammar or flawless pronunciation. With time, Emma realized that the skill of introducing oneself was intrinsically linked to self-acceptance. The more she accepted herself, the quirks, the hesitations, and the unique blend of her Texan roots with her evolving American identity, the easier it became to communicate openly. Her English improved not just in vocabulary or pronunciation, but in the expressive power of her personal narrative. Every "Hello, I'm Emma Carter" was a small act of defiance against the fear that had once held her back, a declaration that she belonged in every room she entered. Emma's journey also opened up opportunities for her to help others in similar situations. She organized informal meetups for students who were learning English, encouraging them to practice introductions and share their stories. In these sessions, participants exchanged not only words, but also cultural traditions, personal challenges, and dreams for the future. The room buzzed with energy as each person found their voice and learned that every introduction was a beginning, a chance to be seen and heard. During one such meetup, a shy student named Luis expressed his gratitude to Emma. "I never thought I could introduce myself without stumbling," he said, eyes shining with newfound hope. "But your story showed me that it's okay to be nervous, and that every word I speak brings me closer to my goals." This feedback was invaluable for Emma. It reinforced the idea that her struggles and triumphs had a ripple effect, inspiring others to overcome their own fears. Through her ongoing efforts, Emma Carter not only mastered the art of self-introduction, but also transformed it into a powerful tool for personal growth and community building. Her journey, marked by initial anxiety, persistent effort, and ultimate triumph, became a testament to the fact that introductions are far more than a simple exchange of names. They are the foundation upon which relationships are built, cultures are shared, and communities are strengthened. Looking back on her experiences, Emma often marveled at how a seemingly mundane act could evolve into a profound statement of identity. From the timid whispers of her first self-introduction in a college classroom to the resonant, heartfelt words shared on community stages, every step of her journey was a celebration of growth, resilience, and the unyielding human desire to connect. Today, Emma continues to advocate for the importance of authentic self-expression. Whether she is speaking at a workshop, mentoring a group of new students, or simply greeting a stranger in a coffee shop, her message remains the same. Introduce yourself with confidence, share your truth with pride, And remember that every new introduction is a doorway to a world of possibilities. In a nation as diverse as the United States, where every state and every person brings a unique story, Emma Carter's journey serves as a reminder that the act of introducing oneself is not just an introduction. It is an invitation to be part of a larger, ever-evolving story. Her experiences show that when you open up and share who you truly are, you not only enrich your own life, but also contribute to the vibrant tapestry of humanity. Emma Carter's journey not only transformed her personal life, but it also opened up a realm of possibilities for sharing useful tips and tricks on how to introduce yourself confidently in any situation. Drawing from her own experiences, she gathered practical advice that could help anyone looking to improve their self-introduction skills. Below are some in-depth tips and tricks that Emma learned along the way, explained in full detail. 1. Prepare your core message before you even step into a new setting. It helps to think about what you want to convey. Emma discovered that a simple structure often works best. Greeting and name. Start with a friendly greeting followed by your full name. For example, "Hi, I'm Emma Carter." Origin or background. Mention where you're from or a bit about your background. Emma would say, "I'm from Texas, United States," which immediately gives context. Interests or passion. Share something that defines you. Whether it's a hobby, a passion, or your field of study, this detail makes your introduction memorable. Emma often added, "I love painting and exploring new cultures." Contextual relevance. Depending on the setting, you can include why you're there or what you're looking forward to. For instance, at a networking event, Emma would mention her field of study or her aspirations. 2. Practice, practice, practice. One of the most important tips Emma learned was the value of rehearsal. Mirror work. Practicing in front of a mirror allows you to observe your body language and facial expressions. Emma would stand confidently, ensuring her posture was open and inviting. Recording yourself. Recording your introduction can help you listen for any areas of improvement. Emma used her phone to record herself, then played it back to fine-tune her tone and clarity. Mock introductions. Practice with friends or in small groups where feedback is constructive. Emma often organized informal gatherings with classmates to simulate real introductions. 3. Focus on body language and tone. A self-introduction is not just about the words. Your body language and tone play a crucial role. Eye contact. Making eye contact conveys confidence and sincerity. Emma learned that looking at your listener creates an immediate connection. Smile genuinely. A warm smile can set the tone for a friendly interaction. Even if you're nervous, smiling can help reduce anxiety and make you appear approachable. Steady voice. Speaking clearly and at a moderate pace ensures that your message is heard. Emma practiced modulating her voice to avoid speaking too softly or too quickly. 4. Customize for different contexts. Different situations call for slightly different approaches. Casual settings. In a relaxed environment like a coffee shop or a social gathering, you might keep your introduction brief and personal. For example, "Hi, I'm Emma Carter from Texas, and I'm passionate about art and travel." Professional settings. For interviews or networking events, a more structured introduction works best. Emma would include her academic background and professional aspirations, making it clear why she was present. Cultural events. When meeting people at multicultural events, it's a good idea to mention your interest in learning about diverse cultures. Emma found that this not only made her introduction relevant, but also invited others to share their own stories. 5. Use memory aids and prompts. Remembering a well-prepared introduction can be challenging when nerves kick in. Emma's trick was to use memory aids, bullet points. She would jot down key points on a small card, which she could glance at if needed, but not read verbatim. A mnemonic device. Creating a mnemonic can help recall the sequence of your introduction. For example, think GOIC: greeting, origin, interest, context. Visualization. Emma often visualized the scene and imagined a successful interaction, which helped reduce anxiety and improve recall. 6. Embrace imperfection and stay authentic. A perfect introduction isn't about memorizing every word. It's about being authentic. Be yourself. Authenticity resonates more than perfection. Emma discovered that when she was genuine about her experiences, people responded positively. Admit nerves if needed. It's okay to acknowledge that you're a bit nervous. Saying something like, "I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited to be here," can humanize you and make the conversation more relatable. Learn from mistakes. If you stumble or forget a line, don't dwell on it. Use it as a learning moment. Emma kept a journal of her experiences to reflect on what worked and what could be improved. 7. Engage your audience immediately. An engaging introduction sets the stage for a two-way conversation. Ask a question. After introducing yourself, follow up with a question to involve the listener. Emma might say, "What's something you're passionate about?" This invites dialogue and shifts the focus from you to a shared conversation. Relate to your environment. Mentioning something relevant about the setting can create an instant connection. For example, at an art exhibition, Emma would talk about her excitement for the artwork and then invite others to share their thoughts. Show curiosity. Demonstrate genuine interest in the people you're meeting. A warm, inquisitive tone encourages others to open up, which can transform an introduction into a meaningful exchange. 8. Continuous improvement and reflection. The journey to a confident self-introduction is ongoing. Seek feedback. After each interaction, ask for feedback. Emma often asked her friends or mentors what impression she left and used that input to refine her approach. Reflect on experiences. Regularly take time to reflect on your interactions. Keeping a diary or journal can help you track your progress and identify patterns or recurring challenges. Adapt and evolve. As you grow and your circumstances change, update your introduction. What worked when you were a student might need a tweak once you start a new job or move to a different environment. 9. Utilize technology and resources. In today's digital age, there are many resources available to help you master the art of self-introduction. Language apps and tutors. For those learning English, apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or language tutors can help improve pronunciation and confidence. Emma, for instance, participated in English language workshops that offered real-time corrections and practice. Online communities, platforms like YouTube, forums, or even local community groups provide opportunities to see examples of successful introductions. Watching videos of public speakers or attending webinars can be both educational and inspiring. Virtual reality and simulations. Some modern language learning programs offer VR simulations where you can practice introductions in a controlled, realistic environment. This technology can be particularly useful for overcoming stage fright and building real-world confidence. 10. Mindset and emotional preparation. The final tip, which Emma holds dear, is about cultivating the right mindset. Positive affirmations. Before any event or meeting, remind yourself of your strengths. Emma would say, "I'm capable, I have a story worth sharing, and I deserve to be heard." Embrace vulnerability. Understand that vulnerability is part of the process. Every time you introduce yourself, you're opening up to potential connections. This openness can lead to unexpected and enriching experiences. Stay resilient. If an introduction doesn't go as planned, don't be discouraged. Each experience is a stepping stone toward improvement. Emma's resilience was built on the understanding that every conversation was a chance to learn and grow. Putting it all together. Emma Carter's evolution from a nervous speaker to a confident communicator was not achieved overnight. It was the result of careful preparation, continual practice, and a deep commitment to authenticity. By incorporating these detailed tips and tricks, she turned the simple act of introducing herself into a powerful tool for personal and professional connection. Whether you're new to a country, entering a new professional field, or simply looking to make a better first impression, these strategies offer a comprehensive roadmap. Remember, every introduction is a chance to set the tone for a lasting relationship. Embrace it with confidence, practice it with purpose, and let your genuine self shine through. Emma's journey continued to evolve in ways she had never imagined. With each new experience, her confidence grew, and she found herself drawn to projects that allowed her to connect even more deeply with others. One crisp winter afternoon, as the city lights shimmered against a frosty sky, Emma received an invitation to participate in a collaborative art installation that celebrated the theme of Voices of the Community. This project was designed to capture the unique narratives of people from various backgrounds across the United States, and Emma knew that her own story of overcoming language barriers and self-doubt was a vital part of that mosaic. Determined to contribute meaningfully, Emma decided that her installation piece would focus on the power of first impressions, the art of introducing oneself. She set up a small workshop in a community center located in the heart of Manhattan, inviting locals, students, and immigrants alike to share their experiences. The goal was to create a series of visual and audio portraits that encapsulated the essence of self-introduction in a diverse society. At the workshop's opening, Emma greeted each participant with her warm signature introduction. "Hi, I'm Emma Carter, a proud Texan studying in New York, and I believe every introduction is the start of a wonderful conversation." The room buzzed with anticipation. People began sharing their own experiences, stories of nervous beginnings, humorous mishaps, and moments of unexpected connection. There was Carlos, who admitted that his first introduction in America had been met with laughter due to his accent, and Priya, who shared how learning English allowed her to connect with colleagues in her new job. Emma listened intently, jotting down notes and even recording snippets of these conversations with the participants' permission. As the days passed, the workshop transformed into a dynamic creative space. Emma and her team of volunteers arranged the collected stories alongside photographs, sketches, and even short video clips of introductions. One particular exhibit featured a series of handcrafted introduction cards, each designed by a participant and reflecting a personal journey of self-discovery. Emma's own card, which she had refined over countless evenings of practice and reflection, now hung proudly among them. It read simply, "Hello, I'm Emma Carter. Every story begins with a greeting." The exhibition opened on a bright spring day, drawing a diverse crowd from across the city. Attendees wandered through the displays, pausing to listen to recorded voices and read handwritten notes. Many were visibly moved by the honesty and vulnerability on display. A local journalist, intrigued by the project, approached Emma after the event. "Your workshop has brought to light something truly remarkable," the journalist remarked. "In a country as diverse as the United States, these introductions aren't just words, they're the building blocks of our shared community." Buoyed by the success of the exhibition, Emma began to receive invitations to speak at educational institutions, cultural festivals, and community gatherings. Each new engagement was an opportunity not only to share her experiences, but also to learn from others. She organized follow-up sessions where she encouraged people to reflect on how their initial interactions had shaped their personal and professional lives. These sessions often led to long discussions about overcoming fears, embracing differences, and finding common ground through language. In one such session at a local community college, a young student named Elena approached Emma after the event. "I used to be terrified of speaking English in class," Elena confessed. "But hearing your story and seeing all these different ways people have introduced themselves has inspired me to try harder. I want to build my confidence too." Emma smiled warmly and replied, "Every introduction is a chance to start anew. Remember, it's okay to be nervous. What matters is that you speak your truth." Emma's commitment to empowering others soon led her to develop a series of online tutorials and interactive webinars. These resources were designed to help non-native English speakers prepare for social and professional introductions. Through live sessions and recorded lessons, she shared practical tips, from simple greetings and common phrases to techniques for managing anxiety and building confidence. The sessions were interactive, allowing participants to practice in real time, receive constructive feedback, and even role-play different scenarios. Over time, Emma built a community of learners who supported one another and celebrated every small victory. Her digital outreach also attracted attention from educational institutions and local government programs focused on immigrant integration. Emma was invited to collaborate on initiatives that promoted language learning and cultural exchange. One such project was a citywide campaign titled "Start with a Hello," which aimed to encourage residents to engage with one another in public spaces. Emma's role was to provide workshops at community centers and schools, where she demonstrated the transformative power of a simple greeting. One memorable day, Emma visited a busy urban park where the Start with a Hello campaign had set up a series of interactive booths. At one booth, a group of teenagers hesitated as they prepared to introduce themselves to visiting seniors as part of a cross-generational dialogue project. Emma approached the group and said, "Remember, every conversation begins with a hello. Let your smile be your first word." With gentle encouragement, the teens took turns introducing themselves, sharing their hobbies and dreams. The seniors responded with warmth and laughter, recounting their own youthful adventures. It was a beautiful exchange that reminded everyone of the universal nature of human connection. Amid these professional achievements, Emma's personal life also flourished. She formed a close circle of friends from various cultural backgrounds, friends who, like her, valued the power of authentic communication. There was Daniel, a soft-spoken musician from New Orleans whose soulful tunes spoke volumes without words. Aisha, a passionate chef from Detroit who infused her dishes with stories of her heritage. And May, an aspiring poet from San Francisco who expressed herself through evocative verses. Together, they created a small support group where they practiced introducing themselves in multiple languages, often blending English with snippets of Spanish, French, or Mandarin. Their gatherings became a celebration of diversity, filled with music, laughter, and the occasional heartfelt confession about the challenges of adapting to new cultures. One summer evening, as the group gathered on a rooftop overlooking the New York skyline, Emma reflected on how far she had come. The city's vibrant energy and the collective stories of her friends filled her with a sense of belonging. "You know," Emma began, her voice soft yet resolute, "every time I say, 'Hello, I'm Emma Carter,' I'm not just introducing myself, I'm sharing a piece of my journey. And that journey has taught me that every voice matters, every story counts, and every introduction is a step toward understanding each other better." Her words resonated deeply, sparking a round of heartfelt conversations among the group. They talked about the times they had felt isolated by language barriers, about the small victories that built their confidence, and about the ways in which a simple greeting could transform an ordinary day into a life-changing moment. As autumn arrived once more, Emma was invited to an international conference on cultural diversity in education. Here, educators, policymakers, and community leaders gathered to discuss strategies for fostering inclusive environments. Emma was asked to share her experience as both a learner and a mentor. On the stage, under the soft glow of stage lights, she spoke candidly about her struggles and triumphs. "Every introduction," she said, "is an opportunity to bridge divides and build connections. When we learn to say, 'Hello, I'm Emma Carter,' with confidence, we not only introduce ourselves, we invite others to share in our story, and that makes all the difference." The conference ended with a standing ovation, and many attendees approached her afterward, eager to implement her ideas in their own communities. Emma's presentation had not only highlighted the importance of effective self-introduction, but it also underscored a larger truth about the human experience, that our differences, when embraced, create a rich tapestry of shared understanding and empathy. In the following months, Emma's influence grew even further. Local newspapers featured her as a role model for overcoming adversity, and her online tutorials reached thousands of viewers. She received letters and emails from people all over the country, thanking her for giving them the courage to speak up. One email from a young man in Arizona read, "Your story made me realize that my accent is not a barrier, but a badge of honor. Thank you for teaching me that my voice matters." These messages filled Emma with a renewed sense of purpose. She continued to refine her workshops, incorporating new techniques such as mindfulness exercises and improvisational storytelling to help participants relax and express themselves more freely. Emma began collaborating with language experts and psychologists to create a holistic program that addressed both the technical and emotional aspects of learning a new language. The program, which she named Hello My World, quickly became popular among community centers, universities, and even corporate diversity programs. As Emma navigated this new chapter of her life, she never forgot the moments that had defined her early struggles. She maintained a journal where she chronicled her experiences, reflections, and the inspiring stories of those she met along the way. In her journal, she wrote about the transformative power of a genuine introduction, a power that had turned a timid student from Texas into a confident speaker and a community builder in one of the world's most diverse cities. One day, while reviewing her journal entries, Emma came across a passage that encapsulated her journey perfectly. "Every time I said, 'Hello, I'm Emma Carter,' I was stepping into a new chapter of my life. I learned that introductions are not just about words, they're about opening doors, inviting curiosity, and making connections that can change the world." This reflection reminded her of the long road she had traveled, from hesitant whispers in a crowded classroom to speaking confidently before an audience of hundreds. It also reinforced her belief that the art of self-introduction was a lifelong journey, one that continually evolved with every new experience and every new person she met. In the midst of all her professional accomplishments, Emma also made time to nurture her creative passions. She organized small art gatherings where participants could express themselves not only through words, but also through visual art. These gatherings were intimate affairs, held in cozy studio spaces, community halls, or even quiet corners of bustling cafes. There, amidst canvases and clay, participants painted their emotions, wrote poetry about their dreams, and sometimes even recorded short video diaries. Emma's initiative helped people see that self-introduction could take many forms, each as valid and beautiful as the other. One particularly memorable session took place in a renovated warehouse turned art studio in Brooklyn. The theme was Reflections of Identity, and participants were encouraged to create a piece that represented how they saw themselves. Emma walked around, engaging with the artists as they mixed paints and debated colors. At one corner, she found a young man named Malik, who was meticulously sketching his portrait. Curious about his work, Emma approached him. "I'd love to hear your story, Malik. What does your portrait say about you?" Malik looked up, his eyes reflecting a mix of vulnerability and determination, and said, "I'm still figuring it out, but I want people to see that every introduction is a chance to redefine who we are." Emma nodded, deeply moved by his words, and the two of them spent the rest of the afternoon discussing art, identity, and the courage it takes to share one's true self. Over the years, Emma Carter's journey became a beacon for many. Her simple yet profound approach to self-introduction, rooted in authenticity, empathy, and a willingness to embrace imperfection, had ignited a ripple effect throughout her community. She was invited to partner with schools to create curriculum modules that emphasized the importance of self-expression. She contributed to research on language acquisition and cultural integration, sharing insights on how a confident introduction could set the tone for lifelong success. In recognition of her contributions, Emma received several awards from educational and cultural institutions. At one award ceremony in Washington, D.C., a representative of a national language advocacy organization summed up Emma's impact. Emma Carter has shown us that a simple greeting can be the start of a revolution of connection, understanding, and hope. Her story is a reminder that every voice, regardless of accent or background, has the power to inspire. Despite the accolades and widespread recognition, Emma remained humble. She often said that her journey was far from over and that every day brought a new opportunity to learn, grow, and connect. The seeds she had sown through her workshops, online tutorials, and community events continued to bear fruit as countless individuals found the courage to introduce themselves, share their stories, and become part of a larger narrative of unity and acceptance. Looking ahead, Emma envisioned expanding her Hello, My World program into a nationwide initiative. She dreamed of creating mobile workshops that could travel to rural towns, urban centers, and border communities, ensuring that everyone, no matter where they were, had the tools to express themselves confidently. Her vision was simple yet profound: a country where every introduction was met with warmth and curiosity, where language was celebrated as a bridge rather than a barrier. In quiet moments of reflection, often during early morning walks through Central Park, or while sipping coffee at a favorite neighborhood cafe, Emma would think back to the shy girl from Texas who had once stumbled through a halting introduction. That girl had grown into a woman who not only mastered the art of self-expression, but also helped countless others find their voice.